We're joined now by Dr. Todd Hubbs, our OSU Extension crop marketing specialist. And Todd, some much anticipated USDA reports have been released in the last week.
Yeah, they have last Monday. Pretty bearish reports for crops for the most part. We saw a record corn production number that I don't think a lot of people were expecting, me included. Over 17 billion bushel corn crop. Soybean yield went up a little bit. And then globally, the crops got bigger. We're seeing bigger wheat crops in Argentina and Russia as well. That was somewhat expected, but nonetheless, large supplies in the globe, low prices for the most part.
Dive a little bit more into that kind of global picture and what the reports revealed.
Well, globally for wheat, we've been seeing the crops get bigger in all the major exporting countries. Australia had a huge crop. Argentina looks like they're putting on a record crop for them. They raised the Russian crop from last year as well. And the United States had a decent sized crop. It wasn't a record, but we're still carrying a lot of wheat around. And the global competition is getting really stiff. So while we've seen some slightly smaller crops in the Middle East, the competition is going to be tough for us to ship in the second half of this marketing year. Corn, we're the major global corn producer, and we have a monster crop. We're moving it. We're sending it out in exports. We're grinding it for ethanol. We're feeding it. We've got really strong demand at these lower prices. The question is, will we be able to hit the demand numbers USDA put in the WASDE? That's a pretty open question right now. But in my opinion, they're sort of near the top where they will be. So, what's in front of us is maybe a little bit bearish. As far as soybeans are concerned, they raised the Brazilian soybean crop that's about to really start getting harvested. Brazil's going to have a record crop, one of the largest, the largest they've ever had, and that thing could get bigger because their weather's been pretty supportive despite the La Nina thing that was going on this winter. It looks like Argentina's crop's coming in well. Most of the South American bean crops are looking pretty good. So a lot of supply in the world, a lot of competition.
And was there some reaction from the markets, at least temporarily?
Oh, yeah. After the USDA reports dropped last Monday, corn prices fell like 25 cents over the next two sessions. They sort of clawed back near the end of the week, but we're way down from where we were. Wheat hung in there because I think a lot of what happened in the wheat reports, other than the wheat acreage showing up pretty much the same, the winter wheat seeding reports came in flat year over year. And we saw Oklahoma up 16% for winter wheat acreage, which is a little bit of a surprise. But other than that, I think most of the numbers in the reports were expected for wheat. So while they got caught up in the downturn, they clawed back near the end of the week. Still down, but not as bad as corn. Beans pretty much the same.
Surprised by planted acres in Oklahoma? Was that number surprising to you?
It was a bit surprising. I'd been hearing maybe we were down on acreage a little bit. I've been hearing that across a lot of the winter wheat states, and that's not what they said. So I was a little bit surprised. Planted acres aren't harvested acres. We're really dry here in Oklahoma and the Southern Plains. We'll see how this all turns out with maybe some weather coming our way, but I am a little surprised by it, and I would not count on the loss of acres in my marketing if I was a producer right now. We've seen these kind of things before in the past. People think maybe the harvested acres aren't going to be there, and they show up. So it's a little bit uncertain.
As we kind of plow through January, what other things are you keeping an eye on?
I'm keeping an eye on the weather. We're dry here in the Southern Plains. We're seeing some issues in like the European part of Russia with their winter wheat crop. Everybody's falling in this deep freeze. Will the wheat survive these kind of really polar temperatures, particularly in the Russian wheat? I think we're going to be okay here, but we'll see how it turns out. Looking at the weather in South America still, how's that bean crop going to finish up? And how did their planting of their second crop, corn in Brazil, take off? It looks positive right now. We don't really need more corn in the world, but they're going to plant it. So I'm paying attention to the weather and trade, and particularly uncertainty around trade policy and biofuel policy that's still in place. A lot of uncertainty around policy these days, and it'd be nice to get some kind of resolution to these things. I don't think it's going to happen.
All right. Todd Hubbs, thank you very much. We appreciate your analysis as always, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.